fight time, we definitely gonna try to take each other's heads off, and the closer the fight goes, we both gonna be eager to, you know, show who's the more dominant fighter.
At the seams, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford.
But boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, not taking nothing away from you.
Terence Crawford stunned Piers Morgan with just 5 words on live TV, declaring, "We're gonna take each other's heads off." He didn't stop there. Crawford boldly stated, "A win against Canelo Alvarez would put me on Mount Rushmore." The raw confidence and clarity left viewers amazed. This wasn't hype. It was a mission statement, delivered live and loud, setting the tone for what promises to be an unforgettable clash.
Can deteriorate, you know, in camp. But, you know, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, you know, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
You know, I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
At a recent press conference, Terence Crawford's confidence was on full display. He didn't hold back when discussing Canelo Alvarez, openly mocking his physical attributes while warning him of what's to come. Crawford's remarks weren't just for show. They reflected an athlete who's mentally dialed in and looking to shake up the sport once again. This type of pre-fight energy shows Crawford is not just aiming to win, but to dominate in a way that makes a lasting impression.
Right. Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head too.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has publicly expressed how convinced he became about Crawford's mindset after speaking with him. According to Hearn, it was Crawford's unwavering belief in his own skill set and preparation that stood out the most. Despite the risks involved in fighting someone as experienced and powerful as Canelo, Crawford carries himself with assurance. He isn't simply hopeful, he's certain. Hearn's comments reflect the level of self-belief that only elite athletes possess when they're fully prepared and have clarity about their goals.
I go back and forwards, to be honest with you. Like, when I talk to Bud, I kind of like, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's a big lump. So I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo, so we'll see.
Respected trainer Bill Haney has added his voice to the growing list of boxing insiders siding with Crawford. Haney didn't just pick a winner, he aligned himself with Crawford's camp and spirit, expressing full support for the American fighter. For someone so closely involved in the fight game to confidently back Crawford speaks volumes. Haney has seen many champions rise and fall, and his endorsement highlights the respect Crawford commands from seasoned voices in the sport.
Well, for everybody that was straddling the fence, straddling got your pants split. At the seams, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford. He done signed up to do what everybody thought that he wasn't trying to be, a generational talent. Another fighter on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Yeah, so don't split your pants, pick one.
Trainer Derek James issued a stern warning to Canelo's team, emphasizing that Crawford is unlike any opponent they've prepared for. James pointed out that most of Canelo's past opponents couldn't adapt mid-fight, while Crawford thrives in dynamic situations. He underscored that Terence brings a unique blend of timing, movement, and unpredictability that can disrupt even the most prepared fighters. James's message was clear. Underestimating Crawford's versatility would be a serious mistake.
The thing about Crawford is he believes he's on it, like he believes he's the one. So that's the difference between him and any other fighter that Canelo fight. Because Canelo, people fight the idea of Canelo Alvarez opposed to fighting the individual. The thought of him is what puts fear in their heart. But he doesn't care about that because he's Terence Crawford, so it's a totally different thing. So if he can implement his strategy and ride it out to the end of the fight, he's going to be successful. But if Canelo can do what he needs to do, and his timing has to be on point, because he's not that fast as Crawford is. It's all about timing.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, the mastermind behind Crawford's strategy, made it clear that his fighter is operating at peak form. According to him, Crawford's preparation has been flawless, from cardio and strength conditioning to film study and sparring. He believes that Crawford is not just ready physically, but mentally tuned to a level that will allow him to execute a perfect game plan. From Bomac's view, Crawford's ring IQ and boxing fundamentals give him the edge needed to seal the victory.
Styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Do you think with the styles in mind, but also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skill?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you that. He'll get the job done. Because Bud IQ, boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, not taking nothing away from him, but Bud just a little bit better.
Bomac also addressed a common misconception surrounding Crawford's resume, that he hasn't faced elite opponents. He argued that this belief is rooted in the fact that Crawford consistently dominates to such a degree that even top-tier challengers appear average. According to him, that's not a reflection of weak competition, but rather Crawford's brilliance in the ring. This ability to neutralize threats and make complex challenges look routine is, in Bomac's eyes, the true mark of greatness.
Missing me not to talk about the pound-for-pound #1 in the world, Terence Crawford. Always making headlines these days. He's cemented his legacy. I think certified Hall of Famer whenever he wraps it up. Stepped up in weight, won another world title last time out. Now they're talking about this fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said. Well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for, but for Crawford, because of his pound-for-pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, and why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
The promotional buildup for the fight has been electric, with both fighters exchanging words and physical tension rising during face-offs. Fans are captivated by the intensity. Each shove, stare down, and verbal jab adds more fuel to the fire. These moments have transformed the bout from a technical clash into a full-blown spectacle. It's no longer just about belts and rankings. It's about pride, identity, and proving who belongs at the top of the sport.
Man, Canelo pushes Crawford. This might be the biggest fight the past 50 years. This is gonna be crazy, guys. Look at this. Look. Dana White in the middle, UFC involved, WWE involved. Y'all think this was real? It looked real to me. I don't know. Crawford was staring them down too.
Speculation is mounting that Canelo may be underestimating the threat Crawford poses. Some fans and analysts believe that Crawford's power is vastly underrated and could lead to Canelo's first knockout loss. What makes Crawford's punching power so dangerous is its precision and unpredictability. Unlike fighters who rely solely on brute force, Crawford sets traps and delivers his shots with surgical timing. The belief among many is that Canelo may not be fully prepared for this type of threat.
Yo, Canelo is about to get knocked out for the first time in his career. Y'all really playing with Crawford, bro. Y'all don't realize how much power Crawford actually has. I don't care what weight class he's coming up from. Canelo has never fought anybody like Crawford. I'm just kidding, bro. Obviously, I'm just kidding, bro. You guys, you really thought I was with the bullshit? Like, come on, we know. Yo, Canelo different, bro. He's looking like a lion right now, like the king of the jungle type shit with the stare down, bro. Like this man, if y'all really think this man is gonna get knocked down, this guy has, look, you could say they both the same size. You know what I'm saying? He got a longer reach, whatever. But this dude has fought bigger and better opponents than Crawford, and he has never gotten dropped a single time in his career. You think this little guy is gonna do something to Canelo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If he manages to knock down Canelo, I'm gonna give Crawford all the props in the world, because that would be crazy. But he's not doing that.
Despite all the talk about size differences and weight class risks, Crawford enters the fight with unshakable resolve. He views the challenge not as a gamble, but as another hurdle to overcome. Throughout his career, he's thrived under pressure and dismantled opponents who were supposed to overwhelm him. For Crawford, this fight is about defying limits and proving that boxing brilliance is not defined by weight, but by skill, will, and heart. His mindset is grounded in purpose, not hype.
These excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves, he can punch, he can do it all.
Interestingly, amid all the pre-fight theatrics, both fighters have demonstrated mutual respect. Beyond the verbal sparring, they've acknowledged each other's status and professionalism. Footage of them sharing a meal has gone viral, reminding fans that despite their competitive tension, they're still grounded in sportsmanship. It's a unique contrast, public aggression balanced by private courtesy, and it adds depth to their rivalry. This duality makes their eventual clash even more compelling, as respect and violence collide in the ring.
I don't like this right here. I don't like this at all. Now, I know y'all love Turkey. I like him too. He puts on good fights. And I get that he's trying to show that, hey, through the sport, it's love and unison. No matter who's the biggest, the baddest, whatever, they still support each other. And I'm cool with that. But before the fight, I need that feel of, oh man, yeah, these two going at it. These two want to beat each other's ass. They want to knock each other out. That's how a fight buildup should be. I shouldn't be seeing these two sitting across from each other eating. Now, I'm not even talking about promotion. The fight doesn't need to be promoted. Two of the biggest fighters of our era, bang. But I need the promotion of oh yeah, I want to get violent with this person. I want to knock this person's head off. I'm not saying they're not going to put on a good fight. I'm just saying I want the buildup. That's what makes the fight even better. It's the buildup. Look at all the past fights that happened. Even recently, Ryan Garcia in Tank. Shit, Ryan Garcia in freaking Haney. You know, fights like that. The buildup was so, because even in the pre-fight, it was hatred or, hey, I want to beat you up type stuff. Now it's oh, I'm sitting across from you eating dinner, laughing. Nah, man, we can do this after the fight. That's fine. But before that fight, I'm locked in. I want to see that. Oh, I'm locked in. I'm ready to knock him out. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know, I know a lot of y'all have your opinions, but comment what y'all think about this and follow your boy.
Commentary from outlets like The Showbiz, the adult emphasizes the importance of timing over raw power. They believe that while Canelo has one of the best chins in the sport, Crawford's knack for finding openings makes him a unique threat. It's not just about how hard Crawford punches, it's about when and where he lands. Analysts suggest that Canelo might walk into something unexpected, something he hasn't seen before. If that moment comes, it could spell the first knockout loss of his decorated career.
The question I have, which I didn't ask before, because Canelo's chin is one of the greatest chins in history. But looking at the size of Crawford, if he can keep his speed, he's definitely going to keep his timing. He's definitely going to keep his accuracy. Crawford is a knockout artist. The reason why Crawford is a knockout artist is because of his hand-eye coordination, accuracy, and timing. He hits you with shit that you're not expecting. That shit that he hit Errol Spence with, he didn't expect it. That's why he dropped. Same thing with Kell Brook. He's going to hit Canelo with something weird. Canelo ain't going to be able to roll out of it, because Crawford's timing is different. Canelo's going to get hit with flush. But the thing is, Berlanga hit Canelo flush after the bell. So that lets you know what kind of chin he has. I'm just saying, can he stymie, can he bell ring Canelo a little bit? Can he sting him a bit to make Canelo not tank for 12 rounds?
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael offered a more thoughtful take on why Crawford chose this fight. For him, it's not about money, it's about legacy. Crawford wants to be remembered not just as a champion, but as someone who dared to challenge the sport's biggest names, regardless of weight or odds. Rafael acknowledges the danger of such a move, but also frames it as the kind of bold leap that separates greats from legends. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, and Crawford is all in.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go back way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was like, I don't know, 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
On a technical level, this matchup is captivating. Canelo's methodical, pressure-based style contrasts sharply with Crawford's fluid, adaptive approach. Where Canelo relies on patience and punishing bodywork, Crawford counters with speed, angles, and rhythm shifts. Experts agree that the early rounds will be crucial. If Crawford can establish distance and keep Canelo off balance, he could take control. But if Canelo closes the gap and starts digging to the body, it could spell trouble. The styles make this a tactical war.
Well, I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable. And despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most. And maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him. Maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly. But Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season. Again, I'm disappointed for Jake Paul, but I am happy for boxing fans, because my God, this is the treat of the year. And look, I'd love to see Canelo in there with a Hamza Shiraz. I love Hamza Shiraz. He's one of my favorite fighters in the world, and I think he's the future.
For Bomac, strategy is everything. He believes that Crawford's ability to read opponents, adjust on the fly, and execute under pressure is what separates him from the rest. While he respects Canelo's strength and experience, Bomac is confident that Terence will find and exploit the Mexican star's weaknesses. From foot positioning to punch selection, every detail has been drilled in camp. Crawford isn't just preparing to fight, he's preparing to outthink, outmaneuver, and outclass a champion.
I feel fucking great about it, man. Just talking to Bud, and he motivated. He ready to go.
He's been waiting a long time for this fight, what I mean? Yeah. You guys are taking off a long time you know, just waiting for the Canelo fight, haven't fought since August last year. Do you think that's going to make him better, sharper?
You know what? It's going to make Bud wiser. Make him wiser. Give his time, his body to heal up, you know, rest up a little bit. Look, dinks here, dinks there. You know, take his time, getting in shape, get his mind right.
Now,
go in there and do it and make it happen.
A lot of people's talking about the weight. They're talking about that, you know, Bud going up 2 weight classes. He didn't look in spectacular form at 154, but, you know, he's going up in weight to face a bigger guy. What do you say about that?
Let's go, man. Let's go. It ain't about weight all the time.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.